and burn.
Hey everybody, so this is just a quick video talking about how I've seen Pulp Fiction like a million times, like I'm sure everyone else has, or at least everyone that likes the movie has seen Pulp Fiction a million times. And one thing that's always kind of got me about this movie is why does so much of it take place in the early morning hours? Like when Jules and Vincent show up at Brad's apartment to get the briefcase back for the deal that they fucked up with Marcellus Wallace, like, it's like 6 or 7 in the morning. And then when it's indicated too, because when they show up at Brad's apartment, Samuel L. Jackson, I think, asks, he's like, what time is it? And then John Travolta's like, he's like a little after 6, I think he says. And he's like, oh, okay, it's too early, we gotta hold back. And then they step back some and they continue to talk about foot massages. So they go into Brad's apartment, of course, with him and his buddies, flock of seagulls there, who Samuel L. Jackson shoots, of course, because everyone's going to die in this apartment because they fucked up the deal with Marcellus Wallace. And Brad's eating a hamburger from Big Kahuna Burger. Who the fuck, what hamburger chain place is serving burgers at 6 in the morning? Wouldn't they be on a breakfast menu at this point? So yeah, so there's that. And then, so of course, everybody knows what happens after that. Of course, they get the dude from Mad TV in the car, and John Travolta accidentally blows his head off. They have to shoot over to Quentin Tarantino's house, and it again is very, very evident that it's incredibly early in the morning because Quentin Tarantino's in his housecoat and he's drinking coffee. Okay? So, again, why is this gangster deal going down at like 6 a.m. with these dudes, with a guy like Marcellus Wallace, with a briefcase that I've also heard rumors that it might be containing Marcellus Wallace's soul, I guess. I don't know. I've heard those rumors. And then they have to shoot over to Tarantino's house. And again, it's very early in the morning. And then Marcellus Wallace is out on his, Samuel L. Jackson calls Wallace and he's like sunbathing in his backyard and he's fully dressed but like reclining on something and is like near his pool. And it's like, I'm like, it's gotta be 6 p.m. I have to have gotten this wrong. But then, no, because it's like early because again, Quentin Tarantino's drinking his morning coffee. Nobody's wearing their fucking house coat at 6 p.m. drinking caffeinated coffee. So again, it takes place in the morning, but why is Marcellus Wallace sunbathing like it's 3 p.m.? And then he says, don't worry about it, Jules, I got you covered. Don't worry about a fucking thing. I'm sending in the wolf. And then they're on the phone with the wolf, and the wolf indicates that he's at some sort of family thing. There's little kids out there. I'm seeing in the background, there's a little girl in like what it looks like a dress, like she's dressed up like it's some sort of family event. And what kind of family event is taking place at 7 in the morning? It's like a first communion or something that the wolf is at, I guess, or whatever. And he's all dressed up too. And I'm like, what's going on with this movie? Why is so much of this taking place in the absolutely like daybreak, early morning hours? Never made sense to me. Unless I've got it completely backwards and Tarantino is drinking a caffeinated beverage at 6 p.m., crawling out of bed. But that's not true because, you know, the Bonnie situation. His wife is working the midnight shift at the hospital. When she comes home and sees some gangsters doing some gangster shit, you know, Tarantino's gonna get fucking divorced. And he doesn't want to get fucking divorced. So she's working, you know, the midnight, the overnight. She's gonna be home at 6 or 7 a.m. So again, who's eating a burger at 6 a.m.? What burger place is shipping burgers out at 6 a.m.? They're on a fucking, they're on a morning menu. They're on a breakfast menu. Well, actually, no, maybe Big Kahuna Burger just serves burgers 24/7. You know what, the next time I bump into Quentin, I will ask him that question. But yeah, I mean, I just don't get this. Why is so much of this movie take place in the early morning hours? That's it. That was my question. So thanks for hanging out, and I let this one run a little long. My apologies. Yeah. Have a good day.